The acting is insane. Laughing at the dialogue, these movies are a pain. Grab your popcorn, settle in for the ride. Our podcast is the place where bad movies collide. We're true blue fans of the Riff Tracks crew, mocking cheesy films. It's what they love to do. From Plan 9 to The Room, we've seen it all. They'll make you laugh and cringe. They always give their all. True Blue Riffcast, we're your podcast hosts, talking about the movies that are the worst of the worst. True Blue Riffcast, join us on this quest to find the laughs in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10.
That's enough of that. This is True Blue Riffcast. Final episode of the True Blue Riffcast.
Yeah. This is it. This is freaking it, guys.
It's season 7. Made it pretty far.
Yeah. We're doing this for like, I don't know. I don't even care anymore, man. I don't even know why. I don't even know why we went live. Like, why did we do this, Jeremy? We should have just made up some lie like we always do when we don't do the podcast. Like, oh no, Jeremy has to work, or Dave's not feeling good, or something else. When we, when we have to pretend like we don't hate each other.
Yeah.
But no, we got to do. We got to talk about American Werewolf. Everyone's gonna do it. It's gonna be, So hi Jeremy, how are you?
So for those of you who don't know,
pretend that we like each other.
For those of you who don't know, a lot of this has been an act of between me and Dave throughout the years that we actually get along. There's a reason he hasn't shown up at the last couple live shows, and we just can't. I just can't do it anymore. Today we reached a tipping point in our pre-production, and so we're gonna try and make it through this one, and that's gonna be it for us. Yeah,
that's it. We're done. After this one, we're done. We're like we have. I like you guys in the chat more than I like Jeremy, and that is the real truth. That is the absolute real truth.
Same.
Yeah. The feeling is mutual, man.
It's like Penn and Teller. They get along on stage, but they can't stand each other in real life. Like they don't hang out outside of their shows.
Gilbert and Sullivan, whichever one was smarter, that's me.
See, this is what I have to put up with. This is what I can't stand.
Right, and guys, okay, you guys don't know half the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, like the letter, like we got a letter, like all that stuff with the 9/11 girl, the Pentagon ghost girl. That wasn't all fun and games. We got a letter from the 9/11 Memorial Committee in Washington.
I brought that up as a point of fact.
Okay, but
you had to go and turn it into a completely tasteless joke.
Who brought it up, Jeremy?
Like I said, it was a point of fact.
Who brought it up?
To make something interesting out of that damn movie. All right, we're done.
Okay. Everyone.
That was so hard to keep that up.
They knew. Like it was like, look, no. Yeah, Mike Esquire, Mikkel Esquire, however you say it, he outed us early on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. April 1st.
April Fools. Yeah. No one was buying it.
No. We just wanted to see how long we could keep it going for before we started cracking up. It only took us a couple minutes, so.
Yeah, no. At the very beginning, I was just like, I don't know if you. Oh, Oliver says he bought it.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
But today we are going to be talking about
American Werewolf
movie, American Werewolf.
Oh God, yeah.
If you can call it that. We do have Name That Jeremy coming up.
Yeah, we sure do.
And, of course, we have to take a look at the weekend box office. Sorry. Hey, you know what? I think we did a good job for those few minutes, Dave.
Yeah. Pretending like... Because, guys, we don't have fights like this. No. There are podcasts and, like, bands and stuff like that where, like, they genuinely, like, have, like big egos. And I'm not saying I don't have a big ego, but I don't have a big ego with this podcast.
He definitely does have a big ego.
What's that?
I said you definitely do have a big ego.
Yeah, but not like regarding like, well, I'm going to have a power struggle here on the True Blue Riffcast.
No,
like that's dumb. Yeah. Like, why would I do that?
This is just us being idiots for an hour talking stupid about movies. I mean. What's there to power struggle over?
Yeah, there's no power in the true okay, we love it. It's a big part of our lives and it's something we're really proud of. But we don't have any we don't wield any power.
No.
On the True Blue Riffcast. Like, what power do we have?
Absolutely nothing. Neither of us can even win a game of Riff Tracks.
No, we couldn't. It was horrible. I played like garbage. I couldn't even get I had some great riffs. That for some reason just didn't get I made this great joke about Madonna not washing her crotch. that got totally messed up in Riff Tracks the game. And I think that would have made the difference. Yeah. Honestly.
But Citizen Yarn won. And,
she did. I was very impressed.
And Mike won. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And they do have a new stretch goal for the Kickstarter that only has a couple days left at this point. Actually, how much time is left on that?
Oh, geez. I better find that out for me.
Excuse me. 50 new clips in Riff Tracks the game, including stuff from Time Cop, they said. Now I'm sure we'll still get them eventually, but this would help them happen faster. It has to get to 6,500 backers in 5 days. It's at 5,600 backers right now, so it needs just under 1,000 more people to back it, and then we'll get 50 new clips. For Riff Tracks the game.
Yep.
But
Time Cop. Yeah. Yep. So it's only 5 days to go. Wow. I'm gonna have to geez. Made $500,000. Wow. I wish I could raise $500,000. Anyway, weekend box office.
Yeah. Yes, Rivius, the last 24 hours, usually they do get a much larger number of people. Weekend box office, the new Jason Statham action movie, A Working Man, took first place. Snow White in a very close second. The Chosen Last Supper Part 1.
What?
In third place. Woman in the Yard in fourth place. And Death of a Unicorn in fifth place. What were you wanting, Dave?
But half of those movies, I've never even heard of them.
Well, the Chosen Last Supper, that's the first two episodes of the 5th season of The Chosen, which has just ended up season 4 they did the whole thing theatrically, and they're doing the same thing with this one, like a couple episodes at a time, and it does bring in a lot of people, and it's a Fathom event, so the tickets are more pricey than regular tickets, which is always fun on days like today where it's our Loyalty Tuesdays, and you get $5 standard tickets, and you get all the old people who come in and don't understand why they can't get a $12.50 ticket for $5 for a special event.
And you get twice as many cherry Slurpees thrown at your head.
No, I haven't. They did get the guy.
Okay.
I Google searched his name, ended up finding his dad, who's currently in prison for assault with a deadly weapon.
Well.
And now the son is getting probation. Like, nothing major, but it's something, I guess. He's not going to learn his lesson from probation, though, I don't think. But, you know, who knows? Nobody knows.
Should I tell the story that I told Joy before, or should we just let that go?
That's up to you. If you want everybody to know, then you can tell them.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to betray anybody's confidence, I guess I should say. You know what I mean? Because this is a real person that I know that did this.
So maybe don't.
Yeah.
We'll move along to name that.
Yes, we'll move along. If you know me on Facebook, send me a message if you want to know about some hot, juicy drama, and I will let you know.
Hot, juicy drama. That's a bad way to put it.
What's that?
Hot, juicy drama sounds...
Hot, juicy drama, yeah. It's actually way less interesting than that.
So it's more like a warm, moist drama?
Ew. Now, if it was warm and moist, there'd be no problem. We're going to hell. Citizen Yarn says ew. But my grandma's dead. That's got nothing to do with the warm, moist drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I wasn't here last week. And I'm glad she's dead. And that's all I'll say about that.
Nothing wrong with that, Dave. That is a valid emotion.
So what's next? Name that, Jeremy?
Yep, you gotta stump me.
All right, so here's what we got. For tonight, we are doing a Stallone head-to-head matchup. That's not how Stallone talks. I don't know. That was a terrible Stallone. So tonight's matchup is between Cobra and Over the Top.
Hey.
Okay, so here we go. Are you ready, sir?
I'm as ready as I could be with this.
Okay. So these are all quotes from the movie. None of these are riffs. Number 1, you're the disease and I'm the cure.
That's Cobra.
That is Cobra. Okay. Number 2, the world meets nobody halfway. When you want something, you got to take it.
I'm going to say that's Over the Top.
That is Over the Top. Good for you. 2 for 2. Number 3, I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
Cobra.
That is Cobra. 3 for 3. You're going to get this one. Number 4, when I get to the table, that person, I don't care who they are. They're my mortal enemy. I hate them.
It's got to be Over the Top.
That's Over the Top. That's correct. Number 5. As long as we play by these bullshit rules and the killer doesn't, we're gonna lose.
It's Cobra.
That's Cobra. I think you've already done excellently. And number 6 is What I do is I just try to take my hat and turn it around, and it's like a switch goes on.
That is like the dumbest line from that movie, and there's a lot of dumb lines in that movie.
That
is
a lot of dumb lines.
That is over the top, 100%.
That is over the top. Congratulations, you're 6 for 6.
Woo!
On the Sylvester Stallone head-to-head of Name That Jeremy. Good job, sir.
Rybius is right. That was kind of easy mode.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. They don't have to be the hardest things.
We don't like guys. I have gone way harder on Jeremy sometimes.
Yeah,
and I figured I was going to say some pretty mean things to him, so I figured I'd go easy.
Well, with all that done, I guess it's time to talk about American Werewolf.
Okay, guys, look.
And the 4-minute, 36-second long Zoom call where they try and say the word "where" as many times as humanly possible. I should have counted. I should have went and counted it.
We can do that. You can still pull up the video.
I know, because I have it right where it was on YouTube, because they have the full movies just on YouTube.
Really?
And on Tubi, and yeah. For a movie that came out in 2024.
Will you get copyright striked if you start playing the movie?
No, I doubt it.
Let's
find out. We have gotten 0 copyright strikes ever on this channel.
Okay, guys, so here's the deal. I'm going to tell you the for real deal while Jeremy brings that up. I watched this the week my grandma died. And then I had to go to the funeral, and there's like 10 million people in my house because people are come watch this fat corpse drop into the ground. So that's why we did Riff Tracks the game last week.
Yeah.
And here, let me close Discord because we're getting all kinds of sorry about that, guys. And I was just like, I watched it for last week's show, which is now this week's show. And I went to go watch it again, and I'm just like, I don't want to. Jeremy watched it yesterday, so I will just follow his lead and talk about what I can remember, because God damn it, this movie is not worth 2 watches. It's from the maker of Lichen Colony.
Yeah.
And Lichen Colony is somehow better.
Lichen Colony feels more like an actual movie than this. This movie is just a collection of scenes jammed together. Because honestly, most of it doesn't make sense what's happening, and it's not very coherent half the time. We've got 2 dudes sleeping on a couch together, and they're just like, oh, blame it on the couch. We've got like a 2-minute long scene of the main character eating cold chili straight out of a can. Like the animal, look, that's a depression meal, okay? It is the same as grabbing a can of SpaghettiOs, ripping the top off, and eating it straight out of the can with a plastic spoon. You just sit there and you wallow and you eat it like the animal filth that you are. That is a depression meal. I know this from experience. I still do this from time to time. It's absolutely disgusting. But there you go. That's this dude. There's a whole scene of this guy doing that in this movie.
Jeremy, we have very different definitions of depression meals. I'm just gonna say.
Well, there are different versions of depression meals also.
Okay.
Like that is a depression meal, like 100%. So there's also a 4-minute and 30 some odd second long scene of a Zoom call, a literal Zoom call between 3 of the characters. And I'm going to play that right now. Okay. We're going to watch this together on Rift. And we're going to see.
Well, this is going to be the first time we might actually riff some of this movie. You and me together right now on the True Blue Riffcast.
We're going to see if anybody can get the number of wheres that they say in this conversation.
Okay, let's do it.
And the winner, hang on, I got a prize. I actually got 2 prizes. Holy shit! I don't know where the other one is, but I
Are you gonna send someone your Homestar puppet?
No, I'm not giving any. That's my daughter's. I've got a sealed copy on DVD of the Summer Shorts Beach Party.
Ooh.
And
that was 8 years ago now, by the way.
And I still have a gigantic bag full of these Deadpool and Wolverine Easter eggs that have the best friends necklaces in them. Like, literally, a bag full of them.
Very nice.
I have not done anything with since last summer. So I'll do this again after this, and I'll post the answer in the Discord. When we're done watching this, give me your answers, give me your counts in the chat, and then I'll post the answer and the winner in the Discord.
Do you know the answer?
I do not. I will have to do this. I'll do it separately so I can just straight up pay attention to the wares. And where the where in Werewolf does count. Just any time.
Look at the title of this YouTube video. They're like really trying.
Yeah.
They're really trying to get like the Bigfoot and Mothman idiot.
This movie also has
demographic.
a completely nonsensical twist too that we'll get into because I don't care about spoiling this pile of crap.
Yeah, like okay, well you say nonsensical, but it was really the only thing that could have happened.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But still.
Yeah, but no, but I just want to tell everybody in podcast land who's not listening live what this YouTube video, the title, this is the whole movie. And the YouTube video is the killer is not human, straight bracket. American Werewolf, straight bracket. I don't know what this stroke here is called, so I'm just calling it straight bracket. Full 2024 monster, which I can only assume they're trying to get to like the crypto
monster horror movie
zoology kind of monster horror movie, Halloween horror, and it's on Movie Central. Like, so they can't just put the title of the movie in there. They have to put like all this SEO garbage.
Yeah.
In there. In like in the title. They can't put it in the description. Like, this is the kind of movie this is. It's like clickbait garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here we go.
Oh, Pine Grove.
Man, I'm glad you guys can make it. I'm at my wit's end here. I'm looking for some kind of input, anything on what's going on with these recent
incidents. Did you read the script at all, sir?
Anybody got any idea?
Well, Sheriff, I've been looking into the different cases,
trying
to find patterns, some kind of way to predict what's going to happen next, and something's just not adding up.
Well, have you found anything?
That character's name is Raven Nevermore.
Let me send you these documents, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
These documents.
No. If you look at the different locations and the timings of the attacks, it seems like
what
right before and after a full
moon. He doesn't look like me. No.
These attacks are getting way more vicious, way more brutal.
Oliver's getting muted.
Just exactly what do you mean?
Well, when you consider the fur samples that we found at some of these crime scenes, the lab couldn't identify any of them. We have eyewitness accounts reporting some kind of creature that looks human, but is obviously not human.
I like the finger.
It's either that or a bunch of fucked up motherfuckers that are so pissed at the world that all they want to do is rip people apart. And I don't know anyone like that. Do you?
Well, like they have.
I don't.
They have more discipline with not interrupting.
Go to the press with this.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I'm saying that they have more. They have more discipline of not interrupting each other than we do, like on a real podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, and this should all be chaos.
Headlines, werewolves.
We don't have to let the press know that that's what we're thinking. Okay, and right now we're not really sure, so we're not going to tell them anything. And besides, if we did, okay, you got to think about it. The werewolf is aware of who they are and what they are, because they're not werewolves all the time. They're some person, okay, according to legend and lore. But the thing is, if we let the press know what we know, then the werewolf will know what we know, and we don't want them to know anything that we know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the werewolf is aware that we're aware or not. What we have to figure out is where the werewolf is while we can, before it strikes again.
Oh, again.
Media aside, Sam, we've already had one fed down here. Now, how many more? How many more will be breathing down our backs? And they already think we're podunk nowhere, sheriff's department. Are we going to go to them and say, you know, well, be careful. There's werewolves out in those there woods that might be aware that we're aware.
Stop.
I understand that, but see, here's the thing, right? You got the feds aren't
Sheriff
as
Santa Claus
bad
is on
as
the
you might
case.
think, because obviously they're aware of other things and could possibly be aware that there are werewolves in the world. I mean, who are we to know? The government knows so much shit and they keep so much secret. We're never aware of exactly what they've got going on.
Let me tell you what I'm aware of.
What?
Okay.
I think all we have here is we have a YouTuber wanting more subscribers.
What? What?
Never hurts. But
Well,
while we are all aware of what is going on, what we need to do is prepare. It's time to find some silver, gentlemen,
Silver for what?
Bah!
to make bullets with. This is how we're going to kill that son of a bitch.
How many of you actually have silver?
I
What?
don't know. I don't collect coins or anything.
Well,
Meet
you're
me
not
at my house.
You're not
everybody,
going to
and,
throw a bunch of
what we'll do is,
coins.
bring as much silver as you can, and we'll find a way. I have the capability of making bullets in my basement, so
What?
meet me there. All right.
All right, listen, Sam, while y'all are playing around with silver and bullets and everything, I'm going to be out looking for real clues. So y'all let me know how that goes.
That means he's gonna go drunk and go to a questionable fetish bar. Oh gosh.
Why?
Sorry,
Why
I'm a
is
little,
it not surprising that the guy has the capability of making bullets in his basement? There's nothing about that that is
Okay.
surprising.
Well, okay, so let's just review the three guys we just like that are chasing this werewolf look like. One looks like an elderly white Fidel Castro
It's
mixed
like
with Santa Claus.
Santa on, like, he retired from being Santa.
Yeah. Another one, Raven Nevermore. Oh, hi, Joy. How you doing? Raven Nevermore, who is prettier than me with his hair, but somehow like wears like all this makeup on his face, and is named Raven Nevermore. And
Not this guy.
and another paunchy guy just laying on his couch, like like the older stepbrother of the guy who fell over in the snow in Cypher in the Snow.
Or
Like-
was it Oliver that said he looked like?
Yeah, Oliver said that guy, that Raven Nevermore, looks like me, and he's gonna get banned. He's out of the Discord. we're done. But that's a joke.
I
Oliver.
hate to interrupt, but we did make it about.
30 seconds. I could hear you from the other room.
No, we made it about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Or
We had a nice long pretend argument.
Yeah, and we had a couple people buying it.
They say they bought
They
it.
say they bought it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
Thank you for feeding their little.
Yeah. The other part that I want to show you guys from this movie, for those who have not seen it yet, and they make a great joke about going into from the movie into an AI screensaver.
Oh no.
And this is also where the title of the episode comes from.
Oh.
So we're gonna watch this. I'm gonna turn the sound off because I'm sure this music isn't gonna come back on us for any sort of copyright strike. But this is at least as long as the Zoom call, if not longer.
Yeah, so just to describe, it's just a skull, an AI skull in smoke, dissolving into a different AI skull in smoke, and there's colors and whatnot. And I think eventually we turn. And it's a. I guess it's a wolf. So and then we go into the moon,
Which starts
and the
dripping.
moon is either sorry, moms, but the moon is either drooling or ejaculating.
Ew.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Yeah, so
Ew.
it's really bad. It's
Okay, so
real
it's not
bad.
quite that long. That is quite literally, I think, the single most disgusting thing.
The moon.
The way that it looks, that they've
Yeah.
shown in Rift Tracks, it is so gross.
It's nasty.
They're like, oh, the moon is drooling. At least I hope it's drool.
Okay, but you've watched some pretty nasty things.
No, I'm talking about in Rift Tracks though.
Oh, I'm still not buying it.
It's really gross and disturbing, and so of course I had to name the episode title,
And
after
you
it.
had to show it.
and I had to show it. Yeah, of course I had to show it.
Share the pain.
It's like the weird tongue green alien rock thing from
Still,
Fight to
still
Win.
less gross than Ugly Love. That's the book that we're reading for 372 pages. Oh wow! Because I would like to talk about that book more than I want to talk about American Werewolf.
This movie
But,
is a mess. It is
Yeah.
the definition of a mess. At least
Okay, so Jeremy, do you want because you watched this yesterday? Do you want to attempt to take us through it?
So the movie starts out showing us something that happened 10 years prior, where the sheriff and his wife are just kind of chilling in the truck on their anniversary.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I got to go to a call. Even though he's just in his full sheriff's uniform, like not dressed for a night out with his wife anyway. So obviously he was just planning on ditching her from the get-go.
Yeah, just you're in the middle of the woods.
And the truck starts rocking,
And no one came a knocking.
and all of a sudden she just like gets pulled out of the passenger side door.
And she's never mentioned again.
Yeah, and that's it. Then it
And
goes
so
to
she's
modern
definitely
time.
not going to be the werewolf.
Goes to modern times, and we get our first Pengrove and Pine Grove inconsistency. They did it. They did a really neat looking, like in the distance with the horizon. They put the text Pengrove 10 years later or whatever. It looked nice. It looked nice.
Yeah,
At
but
least as
also
nice as something
that,
in a movie like this could look.
but that drone shot in Birdemic 3 also looked nice.
Yeah,
at
I
the
mean
beginning.
it's clearly just over stock footage, but
Yeah.
then it goes to the local reporter who, in every single scene she's in, has these big giant pink earmuffs on, and she calls it Pine Grove. Like immediately after they establish that it's called Pengrove, now it's Pine Grove. And I think they mostly call it Pine Grove
Yeah, I think
throughout
I
the
think
movie,
so too.
with only calling it Pengrove a few times in between. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like how do you as the writer and director screw something up that's that simple?
Oh, I know why. You don't care.
I mean,
You don't care or you're an idiot. Those are the only two explanations.
because that's something that should never be.
You
Messed up.
mean the main setting of your movie?
Yeah, Dave, would you ever in a book call the same town two different names multiple times?
Okay, well, I don't know how because man, the writing process for me is pretty slow. And I try to give things unique names, like the audiobook that we just submitted today, Spaghetti and Meatballs, has two towns, and I gave the towns two distinct names, Eureka Falls and Macbeth. Now, and they're both in Mississippi. Now, if I was to suddenly start calling it Eureka Springs, that would mean I'm very stupid. Or if I start calling Macbeth McFly. I like it's unfathomable to me, especially if you're going to invent a name. Like Pine Grove is clearly something he made up. If you're making something up, like you should. Okay, so it's sort of not really, but sort of like Tommy Wiseau not being able to remember his own lines of the script that he wrote for himself. Only it's sustained over a much longer period of time because you have to write it, you have to shoot it, and you have to edit it. Now you can edit this mistake out. You can edit out like if you call it Pine Grove. Now for most of the thing, it's called Pine Grove.
Yeah.
He didn't have to call it Pen Grove in the very beginning. Like that's something I don't know. Anytime he calls it Pen Grove, he could have fixed it. Which sort of leads me to believe that and we'll get into this later, is that he was trying to capitalize off the infamy of Lichen Colony and was just slapping something together, all Ouija shark style. And
could very well be.
And he just didn't care. He's just be like, oh, these stupid bad movies, idiots will all buy it. So I don't care. They're gonna make fun of me anyway. Might as well make $1 million. You know. But,
yeah, I doubt he made anywhere near that amount of money.
But
we know he didn't spend that amount of money to make this movie. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. But man, is this bad? But anyway, so Jeremy, go on with the plot, I guess. We got to get through this.
In present time, we see some lady in the community theater, and she's rehearsing something very, very poorly, and the sheriff is there. He's the only one there, and he stands up and gives her a very quiet round of applause, and he's like, I could sit here and watch you all day. And
Ew.
Then he left, and then it goes back a little bit later, I think that night, and she gets killed by
the werewolf.
The werewolf.
Werewolf.
Which I will say, the werewolf, the few times that you actually see the full body werewolf suit, it looks decent. It looks pretty good for a werewolf suit. And that's it. It looks pretty decent. We see the werewolf chasing the reporter a little bit later in the movie, and I swear I could hear Yakety Sax playing in the background. The way that he was running after her, I had super sped up. She was running away. It was Benny Hill 100%. But the deputy gets kicked out of his house from his wife or fiance or whatever, right at the beginning, and he comes and he sleeps on the sheriff's couch.
Okay, this happens regularly, apparently.
Yeah. This is right at the beginning of the movie. They get completely smashed off of tall boys. They're just, we only see him drinking one, but I'm convinced that the sheriff was actually drunk during this scene and not just acting. Either that or I got to give him more credit than I want to, because he was very convincing that he was drunk, super drunk off of too many beers, and he ends up waking up on the couch next to the guy who's got his arm around him, and he's feeling him up, and he's like, "Ooh, honey," and they get up.
Oh no!
He gets off him, and he's like, "Oh," and they're both like, "Oh," and he's like, "We'll just blame it on the couch." What does that mean? Explain that to me. I need somebody to explain that to me. What?
Well, okay.
What does that mean?
I could explain it to you. You won't like it, but I can explain it to you. They clearly had drunk sex. And they were like, whoa, no homo. Right? So it was the couch. We blame the couch, and we never have to talk about it again until the next time we do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, that seems like it's a regular occurrence with him.
Yeah.
If he's sleeping on the couch that much. And then we find out that they're somewhere along the Appalachian trails. Somewhere.
Yeah, that's very that's like it's so clumsily being like, look at this map. This is where we are.
It's just, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Can we talk about
the Raven Nevermore guy?
Oh God.
Has a YouTube channel, and they show like one of his videos where he's talking about cryptids. We have this guy named what's his name? Under the window.
In a window. It's
Into window.
Innuendo.
Into window. And
Innuendo. It's a very clumsy. I don't know if portmanteau is the right word, but it's a very stupid play on words. It's very clumsy. It's not very well done, but they keep repeating it like it's hilarious, and it's not. It's so annoying.
Yeah. The first time we meet this guy, he's being interviewed by the sheriff about the murder of the Playhouse lady. And some other lady is there who was chased by a werewolf.
Werewolf.
This guy, he's like, oh, well, you found two sets of 5 fingerprints, right? And the sheriff's like, yeah, why? And the guy's like, he goes like this, but it's this way because I think he might have actually been missing that finger. But he's like, I only got 4 fingers on this hand, and he's like, I'll give you 4 if you want. And they show a commercial for this guy. Yet another thing to just eat up time. It's like 1.5 minutes long. And he's like, for every window you buy, I'll give you a high 4. And it's the dumbest stuff. It's just nauseating.
It's like stop.
We get
stop it.
A scene
you were out picking willows.
We get a scene that's about like 45 seconds long, maybe, of one of the really old animated Big Bad Wolf cartoons. And they just straight up just show that for a minute.
Yeah, there's lots of padding.
And it's... The movie's only 62 minutes long. Imagine if it didn't have any of the dumb extra padding in it. It'd be like a 20-minute movie. Like a short film. It was so bad.
Okay.
And it felt... Okay. When I was watching it, I sent a message to Dave about whatever, and I just happened to... I had to pause it. And I noticed that it wasn't...
He was like, oh no, it's only been 10 minutes.
It was 28 and a half minutes into the film. And it felt like I had been watching it for an hour and a half. Like,
this is Copper Mountain effect.
Copper Mountain all over, everywhere.
Like it was like Jim Carrey just splooged all over the walls with this one.
It's the moon. He splooged all over the moon. Get it right. But yeah, it was this.
I know I said it. I just grossed myself out. I'm sorry, guys.
It felt so much longer than it was. It did not feel like it was only an hour. Yeah, no, like, okay, so they're chasing this werewolf for most of the movie, and then they have that Zoom call. And then, oops, it's the sheriff's wife at the end. Yeah. He makes a bullet out of his wedding ring. The sheriff does. And then Raven shows up, and he's got all this silver jewelry on. And he's like, you have all that! Why didn't you tell me you had silver? And he's just like, I don't know. But he ends up getting killed by the werewolf, and I think the deputy makes it. I don't think he gets killed, or does he get killed? I don't even remember. But the very last scene is the sheriff arguing with his wife in the woods, and she's like, "You left me," and then she turns into the werewolf, and he pulls out his gun, and it goes like super speed again, and it goes, pew, 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 and then that's the end. And I texted Dave, and I just said, "What the shit?"
And then I said, you know more than I do because I fell asleep about 20 minutes before the end of the movie, and I decided that I wasn't going to finish it.
You didn't miss much, Dave.
Yeah. Because I think we need to talk about rewarding garbage filmmakers.
Yeah.
Like, okay, one, because he clearly made this movie. I feel he became famous within bad movie circles because this was also featured on Red Letter Media. And then Riff Tracks got Lycan Colony in 2020. So it's sort of the James Wen effect in a way. Sort of the Birdemic 2 kind of thing.
Or like Samurai Cop 2.
Yeah, yes. And it's just be like, well, there are people who are going to pay me to make garbage, so I'll make garbage. And I'll keep making garbage because I will get thousands of dollars from, these people who want to make fun of me, and they're going to make fun of me anyway. So why should I care?
The problem is these people are too stupid to do it right because they're like, oh, they liked my first movie because it was XYZ. Now I'm going to take that XYZ and I'm going to ramp it up.
Yeah.
And they're going to love it even more. And then
that's what
just
I felt like this was.
Disappointing.
This is much lazier than, say, like Birdemic 2. Because Birdemic 2 had like a lot of like production value, I think. But Birdemic 3 was just like a return to classic Birdemic.
Yeah.
So one movie I think is okay, like Lycan Colony. We can go ahead and, like Lycan Colony. But I think we need to stop buying multiple films from these people because I feel like we're getting taken for a ride.
Dave doesn't want Dinosaur Island from Fredo and Ray.
What?
I said you just don't want them to get to Dinosaur Island.
I absolutely don't.
They've been buying so many movies from that director.
But I think that no, but I'm not talking about just riff tracks.
Yeah.
Like bad movie aficionados. Like you could go back and buy like a back catalog of a bad movie maker before they became famous for whatever their breakout Lycan Colony or Birdemic or Suburban Sasquatch or whatever it was. Yeah, go ahead and look at that stuff. But like after they become famous and they become self-aware, we need to stop looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
Because at that point it becomes like we're rewarding them for like making garbage. And I don't like it. Because then we're subjected to just like pure putrid idiocy.
Yeah.
Like American Werewolf. I didn't like this. Like,
and it's the same with Samurai Cop 2 as well, because if you guys have never watched Samurai Cop 2, okay, the first movie, it has that charm to it. Like, they were actually trying to make something good.
Mm-hmm.
Just they didn't know what they were doing and didn't have the skills, the technical skills, the acting skills, any of that stuff. And then they went into Samurai Cop 2 and they're like, okay, what did people like about the first one? And they went and they just ramped all that stuff up. They literally did a joke where he gave the guy who worked at the bar in the first movie was like a airline host, a steward. I don't know what they're called anymore. And he literally gives Mark Fraser's character a black gift, and he hands it to him like it's all black paper and everything, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just the black gift." And then he looks and like winks at the camera. It's like, okay, come on, like, yeah, he makes that face. And then they ramped it up even more by making Tommy Wiseau the bad guy. And
apparently shooting with him was a nightmare. And guess what? You deserve it.
Yeah. Like, they only brought him in because
of the room.
Of the room. And the infamy behind that. And they're like, oh, if we get this, then people will love this schlock even more. And the whole thing was just painful to watch. I watched the whole thing, regrettably. And it's stuff like that. I mean, I didn't pay for it. So at least there's that. I didn't add to any delusion from the director.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's exactly like that. That's the stuff that Dave's talking about that we need to.
The way like move away from it. And I really do feel like American Werewolf falls into that category.
Yes,
because
100%.
It may not have had just I don't think it was intentionally bad, but I do feel like the director just didn't care.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you get worse than Lichen Colony, but he did.
Yeah, like Mike's just said in the chat, it's garbage that isn't earnest. That's the
he would just
problem.
be like, well, I'm gonna poop out this other movie so I can sell it to Riff Tracks.
And I know when we went through the thing where we were like rating the movies by like their production value and all this stuff,
this would get all zeros.
One of the questions we had on there was, does this movie have character? And American Werewolf does not.
No,
zero character.
There's nothing enjoyable about this. So I would say, because I think we're at a point where you don't need to get every Riff Tracks anymore. And I think doing that would kind of be silly because there's no way you can watch all of them because there's like, what, 1,000? Like, what's the number on rifftracks.com right now?
Let me check real quick.
So while Jeremy looks that up, I would say like I would get Lichen Colony. I would get like Jurassic Shark, Ouija Shark. I would get those before I would get this. And if you're still like if you want to know what a movie would be like if you combined all three of those, if you combined Lichen Colony and Ouija Shark, I think that's what this movie is. So if that's what you want, then hey, this movie is for you. But I think if you're just looking for something stupid and earnestly bad to watch from this director, just by Lichen Colony.
Yeah. Lichen Colony was so much more of a fun experience to watch.
Yeah.
Right now, there are 500 shorts,
Ugh.
424 VODs, and 172 blockbuster riffs, so just the jokes.
Yeah, so and you know what? They haven't even scratched the surface of the amount of shorts there are that they could do.
No.
They could do this for another 20 years.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. I do we were talking about this before the podcast started. Jeremy and I were talking to some people that we know from Riff Tracks, and they were saying that we're not going to say who said this.
Yeah.
But they're saying that they are being more careful about what movies they buy, and they're trying to buy more watchable movies. And I think this notwithstanding, that kind of pans out because the one movie that I think about and remember the most from this year is The Death of Richie. And that's Riff of the Year for me so far, man. Because boy, oh boy, I didn't forget it. And it's a like it's it's a real movie. It's competently made.
Yeah.
And it's about a father who murders his son.
And it's based on real life, which makes it even
It
better.
really happened. And Kevin makes a joke of like when the son gets murdered. It's great. But this was just trash. I wouldn't recommend it.
No. I would wait until this one ends up on Friends.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's the best.
It kind of hurts me to say that, but because I don't want.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, like, we don't get paid.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want them.
Yeah.
To be bad, but at the same
I
time,
don't either. I mean, like, the riff wasn't bad.
No,
but
the
the movie is just like you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be like, there's better things to spend $11 on. Just get Lycan Colony.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that one yet, what are you doing? Definitely watch that one over this one.
Yeah,
100%.
All right. And do you have anything more to say about this pile of crap?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely wrap it up for us today. Don't worry, we will be back next week. It's fine.
Yes, it's not really the final episode. We have a Matthew J. Elliott and Ian Potter riff to talk about, for crying out loud.
Yeah, Q Planes. We gotta watch that one to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's actually commit to watching that and follow through.
I'm looking at Riff Tracks right now, and they did a teeny tiny little thing for April Fool's Day.
But they do.
Every title has the interrobang at the end of it.
American
Werewolf?
What?
Watch along with Mike and Bridget?
The Death of Richie?
Yeah, they all
Does it
have
have the
that.
Death of Richie? Does it have all that on there?
I got confused because I saw it after.
I do want to see that, the Death of Richie with that on there.
It's just kind of funny.
The Death of Richie in library. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. It doesn't have it on mine. Oh well.
Yeah, if you just go to the.
Is it on the front page?
The front page, it's on all the stuff. Or if you go to the catalog or latest Riff Tracks movies and hit the arrow over, it's there.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Trending Riff Tracks movies. Continue where you left off. Latest Riff Tracks.
I'm kind of wondering why Nightwish is on the trending Riff Tracks movies.
Which one is that?
That's the one with like the ghost snake.
The ghost snake. Did we talk
out,
about that?
We did not. We were going to. And then something else came out, and we ended up talking about that instead. But that was February 3rd of 2023 that one came out. But it's not on sale, which is why I'm wondering why it's up there.
Nightwish. Oh, wait. Do I own this? I do.
Yeah. Yeah, we both bought that one.
Well, we should talk about it then.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week with Q-Plane.
Yeah, no. Next week we're talking about Q-Planes because we really need to do a Matthew J. and Ian. We need to do a Brit Tracks episode.
Yes, we do. It's been a while.
Because, man, I don't want to get into why. But, yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. If you enjoy the podcast and want to support us, best way to do that is to drop a follow on the Twitch channel, or you can head to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast, and you can drop us like $2 a month, and you'll get access to all of our past VODs up there, which I do have to catch up with like one or two, I think, still. But
and you can watch us fight. You can watch us pretend to fight at the beginning of this podcast. Jeremy's a piece of garbage.
Yeah. But other than that, you can follow the podcast on a bunch of different social media platforms, Blue Sky, stuff like that. We're there, and I'm everywhere else as PB and Awesome.
And I'm Dave. Check me out at Amazon and Audible. You know how to do it.
All right. We will see you guys next time on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Rock till you die.